Gave us a couple of blue plates. Mike Rodak from Bama 247. He's going to join the program momentarily. Get his thoughts on the Wisconsin 10 team ever to come to Bryant-Denny Stadium coming up tomorrow morning.
There's no better place in town to enjoy sports and music than the Finnick. The Finnick's your front row seat to the best entertainment with massive screens, explosive sound from every seat in the house. The experience is bigger, brighter. Kings that win MVPs, and they get wood-fire grilled burgers. Favorite fantasy team. Steak's so good, you're going to forget there's a game on. Fantastic beverages, handcrafted cocktails, great selection of beer. If you want to go non-alcoholic, they have options for that as well. They also have a new 6-day schedule. It includes live acoustic acts Wednesday through Friday, followed by live bands at 10 o'clock on Friday. So you're going to a high school football game, maybe you're going to go watch the kids play. How about later on? You get the Velcro Pygmies that are playing at the Finnick tonight, beginning at 10 o'clock. You can pre-order the tickets or buy them at the door. And then this weekend, all the college football, all the NFL on the video, the big screens. You can check it there at the Finnick, 1630 2nd Avenue South near Railroad Park.
Joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, he joins us every Rodak from Bama 247. Mike, as we look back to last week's La Monroe game, as you were watching it, did the issues that you saw against Florida State, I know it was a lighter opponent than the Seminoles, but did you see a lot of the things that needed to be corrected from week 1 to week 2? Did that box get checked?
Yeah, for the most part. I think you saw, especially early on in the game, like it was pretty obvious that from the get-go they were trying harder, if you will. You know, there was definitely more finishing of plays and blocks, and just they were flying around a little bit more. And then obviously they heard the message on that one, and it's not surprising that I think Ty Simpson from the first game. From the he was at, the pass rush their decisions when in terms of, I think the against UL Florida State, so weren't really that kind of his birthday. We every year, and they the next week, so flies.
Based and where those things. What do you?
It's Wisconsin, because and men's experience. Obviously there. So if Wisconsin can try to run the ball up the middle, which I think is kind of what they've gotten back to as part of their identity, then that could be an area of concern. But other than that, I don't know. Like, talking another backup quarterback, which Alabama faced a few of those last year. Backup quarterback at Wisconsin. I don't know if their skill players are all that explosive. It's not a team that really would scare me. I still think it comes down to Alabama not being lackadaisical, not making mistakes, which they haven't turned the ball over yet this year, to their credit, but not having the bad penalties, not doing the things that shoot themselves in the foot. I think if Wisconsin's going to beat Alabama, like really beat them, it's going to be in the running game, probably up the middle of the field.
So you've already mentioned the fact that you don't think Tim Keenan is going to play. We heard what Kalen DeBoer said during the SEC teleconference that Ryan Williams will be a go. What about Jam Miller? You think they just hold them out, get an extra week of rest before they go to Athens in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I think that's the key, especially for a guy like Jam Miller, because a collarbone injury when you're a running back, like you can't avoid. You're hitting people, head on. So I think the key words from Kalen DeBoer this week were Monday when he said, where he's chomping at the bit to play, or we have the bye week there when we can after week Georgia game without having to take another hit. So look, I think if Jan Miller played, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen right now based on, on three's reporting this morning that he's unlikely to play, but if he did play, I just don't think it would be much. I don't think you need him. And at the end of the day, if you're rotating between Kevin Riley and Daniel Hill and Richard Young and Dre Washington, then you're probably fine. I don't see Jan Miller being the make or break player for this Wisconsin game.
Mike, with the return of Ryan Williams, how much emphasis do you think that Ryan Grubb, Alabama's offensive coordinator, puts into just finding creative ways to get him open and to get him the football?
See, I don't know if they will. I'm still skeptical on whether they'll try to force feed him like that. Like I think people want them to. I think there's 5 receivers that they really like right now. Obviously, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, Ryan, but also Rico Scott and Latsier Brooks. I could see any combination of those guys out in the field for the first play. Depends if you have 2 receivers or 3 receivers. I don't know if it's even a guarantee if Ryan Williams starts. I don't know if that is a big statement. I just think you can kind of mix and match your receivers. I think they like some different guys in different situations. And Ty Simpson really seems to like throwing to Jeremy Bernard. So I don't know if you need to sit there as an OC and say, we need to get Ryan Williams open. I think you just go with what you have and kind of let the offense dictate itself. And at the end of the day, I also think they're going to try to run the ball. That's still something where Kalen DeBoer kind of keeps pushing back against the idea that his offense is super pass heavy, which statistically it kind of is, but he really wants to have that balanced offensive attack. He really believes in the importance of being able to run the ball to open up the play action. So if you are able to run against Wisconsin, that may not be easy, then I think they're going to stick with that as much as they can. So it may not even be a situation where you're trying to throw the ball to Ryan all game. But yeah, I think you try to get him into a rhythm, get his confidence back up. But I don't know if you need to force it by any means.
I know, Mike, we talked to you last week about Kalen DeBoer and some of his answers during his press conferences. He seemed to be maybe a little bit more short with his meetings with the media after that tough loss. Did you sense being around the program this week that after the win against an easy opponent, I understand that there was a large exhale in that football office building just to get one and at least look like from the novice fan that Alabama was trying to head in the right direction finally?
Not as much Monday, to be honest, or even after the game Saturday night. I thought Kalen DeBoer was very kind of muted, which, there could be some level of intentionality there, just because I don't think in his situation you want to come out and look super happy after a big win if everybody's complaining that you're not like Nick Saban enough, and Nick Saban was always the maddest, after a big win. So yeah, I came edge to him still. They need to improve. It was very much just won the games. And so I think energy, but I seem a little Wednesday. There, but much into it, kind of the day-to-day vibes. But yeah, there was a difference.
Mike, your predictions are always welcome. How do you think this one plays out?
So I have Alabama winning, was it 38-17? So you're talking about right around a cover. I think last time I checked, the line was at 20.5. Mm-hmm. So look, I know Wisconsin's different than last year, and I put this prediction up on our website. I think it was actually part of a question and answer with the Wisconsin site on 247, and their fans were all over me saying, you're arrogant at Alabama, like your team sucks, like we're going to come in, we're different than last year, we're different than the team that lost in Madison. I'm just like, look, like you got to show it. Like I did not see a good Wisconsin team last year. I don't know if they're a good team this year. It's another backup quarterback, as it was for most of the game last year. It's just, I got to see it from Wisconsin. I don't think they're a good team. So I just don't know if this is the game to worry about. I think all 8 of the SEC games that are after this, you need to worry about every single one of them if you're Alabama. But I just don't think this is the game to get too worked up about.
Well, I am curious because I have not spent a lot of time on the Badgers 247 site, but did any of their writers predict Wisconsin to beat Alabama straight up?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
I didn't check their full predictions, but I don't think they did.
Okay. All right. Well, and for the record, not one single writer in Florida picked Florida State to beat Alabama. So
Yep. That's
so
right.
just for fairness, wanted to point that out because there was not one single Florida State fan site that predicted a win against the Tide. So just saying. But
could happen. But this game being at home, I think means a lot. This team just plays so much different at home.
Yeah.
I think just with the confidence and the energy and all that. And obviously I think they get into their heads on the road a little bit, and that's something they're going to need to figure out really soon here. But for this game, I just don't sense that this is a problem. I could be wrong. We could be talking next Friday about me being wrong again, but we'll see.
Well, I've already alerted the station management that if Alabama loses for the first time in 86 contests against a non-ranked, non-conference opponent, we might be doing a show on Sunday. Mike might be calling you for a favor.
Need you available, Mike.
Yeah. Hey. Sounds good to me.
All right, Mike, have a good weekend. Get up early. And as I tell everybody, you see Conrad in the press box.
I will do. I'll try.
All right. Thanks, Mike. That is Mike Rodak, joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for NHR services.
Text line is open. It is a college football Friday. Your thoughts on the weekend. We'll get to all. Three-man front continues right here on Jocks.
Well, unlike Barrett Sallee, who went on 680 The Fan over in Atlanta and said that Wisconsin was going to have a chance to win the game against Alabama with 5 minutes left to go in that game tomorrow, Mike Rodak, the direct opposite. This is the third easiest game on Alabama's schedule this year. Eastern Illinois being the easiest, La Monroe the second easiest, and Wisconsin.
I mean, everybody you got on your SEC schedule, like you said, I think you have to be at least a little concerned with because they all look, and it's only 2 games, but they all look pretty sharp.
Probably going to have to wait till later in the weekend to get on my Artec tractor, the zero turn, the Toro that I bought from Jeremy and Greg up there at Artec Tractor in Jasper. But I'm looking forward to it because it has been a life-changing experience for me once I made that purchase back in late spring. Artec Tractor in Jasper is the place you need to go because they're locally owned specialists in mowers and tractors from Toro, Cub Cadet, Gravely, Bobcat, Spartan, residential, commercial grade, more brands and better selection than those big box stores. I live 5 minutes from one of those big box stores, and I just was adamant that I was not going there because I was going to have that personal relationship with Artec Tractor because they've been a longtime advertiser here on Jocks, and you, the listener, you guys trust them, and I put my trust in them, and I have not been disappointed one day. Knowledgeable sales department. They'll advise you on your purchase. Expert service department with years of experience. I'm going to get my Toro zero turn. Going to get that looked at by the service department. Just, obviously get some plugs changed out, things like that. But they have a large selection of used heavy equipment. Go by and see Jeremy and Greg just north of Jasper on Highway 5, or simply just go to their website, artectractor.com.
205-834-9450. That's the Jocks text line if you're not familiar, and that's how we get to interact with all of you guys every single day. FSU Dave chiming in. Conrad's comments surrounding Alabama, Wisconsin, and FSU Dave texts that Conrad wasn't worried week 1, if I remember correctly. Couple of emojis.
Dave would be accurate in that statement, yes. Which is why I followed my optimism for tomorrow with anything is possible because, unfortunately, it does feel like anything is possible now.
Josh out of Huntsville. Thank you, Josh. I'll have what Barrett's smoking, LOL. Bama by 24, War Eagle.
Ooh, that's an Auburn fan saying that.
Drake, if Napier wins the next 4 games, is he off the hot seat?
Yeah. Yep.
Unless he loses the last 4. He's back.
Wouldn't that be something?
With that schedule, anything's possible.
It's a good point.
Burr says, roll Tide, go Blazers. Thank you, Burr. Barrett, Danny Cannell, and Tim Brando need their own show that airs only in Alabama and takes calls, so Bama fans can't take them to the woodshed about their delusional opinions regarding Alabama football. Wimp is the best. I miss him having a show with Sonny, but Wimp is a great interview. I love Wimp. We did too. If you missed that, another legendary conversation with Coach Wimp Sanderson presented by Craneworks. Sam agreed. One of the best calls that Wimp has ever had. Michael says every time Debbie Downer, Mike Rodak comes on that Alabama should just shut down the football program. No, I think Mike keeps it real.
That's what I respect about Mike. I mean, whether things are great, whether things are not going as swimmingly as most Alabama fans would want to, Mike is going to give you an honest assessment. That's what a reporter does. He does an outstanding job doing that.
That way you don't have to take what he reports, what he says with a grain of salt.
Right.
And he's been consistent in that.
Because let's be honest, and I'm not saying this from an Alabama or Auburn website, but there are websites that cover the Southeastern Conference teams that they will absolutely play 100% up to the fan base.
Yeah.
And they will not tell you what's going on. But I think we're very fortunate in this state because I think both those that cover Alabama and Auburn do a really, really good job.
Well, now in this state, you have a lot of writers that are not from this area that have moved in. They're getting paid to do a job, and they're objective, which they should be. All right, continue with the text as we move on throughout the program. 205-834-9450. He is legendary. It started last year here on the show, but Crimson Convict is so talented when it comes to writing his poetry, and the poetry centers around University of Alabama football. He joins us now. Crimson Convict, how are you?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. Thank you.
Well, it doesn't all, well, let's put it this way. DeBoer's given me reason to center it around Alabama football, but we bounce all over the SEC, and I got one today. I'm going to throw one in your wheelhouse. This one is called, Will the Real SEC Frontrunner Please Stand Up?
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Greetings, boys and girls. I pray the Jocks family is doing fine. And I have a question for our three-man front leaders about something that's been on my mind. Since Bama took care of business and the Tigers are on cruise control, I really have no one to pick on, so let's look at the SEC as a whole. With 2 weeks in the books, I'm curious about what you see in regards to playoff contenders and realistic champions of the SEC. Since they are not all in contention, let's just look at the top half and bear with me on the first few, and please try not to laugh. I'll take the Tide first. They get a mention despite the reservations, but let's be honest and clear this up. Right now, they're not even in the conversation. And you can quit laughing, Tigers. I'm referring to the ones on the plains. If you've taken, even though you've taken care of business, there's plenty of questions that still remain. And what about the Bayou Bengals? That week one victory isn't looking so great. Just a 16-point differential against La Tech. The jury is in deliberation, and we still all have to wait. How about those Longhorns and the coming of another Manning savior? The Buckeyes completely shut you down, and I've yet to see championship behavior. And Georgia, where are you? You struggled against Austin Peay. You've earned enough of my respect, and this weekend we're going to see. Which brings me to the Vols. We thought losing Nico would lower the bar. But this trade you made with the Bruins, you may have an upgrade with Mr. Aguilar. Beamer, what's up with your Gamecocks? After last year, your expectations came in on stilts. But you better be about your business this weekend, because this isn't your mom and dad's Vanderbilt. There is one team that's starting to look dangerous, with a possible Heisman steering the schooner. This team is starting to make me nervous, and it's Venables' Oklahoma Sooners. So tell me, Pat Landrum and crew, who do you have wearing the crown? Which teams are the ringmasters, and which teams are the clowns? It appears no one wants to lead. No one's eager to raise the cup. So amidst all these lackluster performances, will the real SEC frontrunner please stand up?
Nicely done, Crimson Convict. Thank you.
Thank you, boys. Talk to you next weekend.
See ya.
All right, brother. Thank you. Who's your front runner right now, Pat? Mine would be, well, it'll give away. We got Better to Forget It coming up.
Yeah, I'd be careful because you got those.
I know.
That were,
I know.
I don't need any help.
they will copy you in a heartbeat.
You don't want any help?
I don't need any help.
Well, I need it.
Nor do I
That's
want
up
it.
for debate. You just don't want any help.
Seems like we're all tied up to me.
Yeah, we are.
Need to help yourself.
That changes after this week. This is where the script gets flipped. Watch and learn.
I'll be taking notes.
Yes. I have extra pens if you need one.
Thank you.
The kind that you like. They're the G10 Bold.
Fine tip.
All right, so for those that are just now tuning in, because we've gotten a lot of text messages and tweets, this is what Barrett Sully had to say on 680 The Fan as he does now a hit with them talking college football. This was his thoughts on tomorrow morning's Wisconsin-Alabama game.
This is a very good Wisconsin defense. They always are solid. They always punch you in the mouth. Alabama's offensive line, I've stopped believing them. A lot like Georgia, they have good individuals, but as a unit, they are not good. They haven't played good for 5 years. It's a consistent problem. Wisconsin will punch you in the mouth. They'll reset that offensive line. Wisconsin will have the ball late with a chance to win. I'm talking under 5 minutes. They'll have the ball late with a chance to win. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the job done, but this is going to be an old school slugfest. Alabama, if that happens, and it's bizarre that I'd say this, it would never happen under Nick Saban, at least in the early years, but Wisconsin's a more physical football team. So they're going to have the ball late with a chance to beat Alabama.
All right. Their defense against Miami of Ohio, Wisconsin gave up a grand total of 117 yards for the entire game. Last week against Middle Tennessee State, they gave up 241 yards. So collectively this year, they have given up 291 yards passing against their two opponents.
I feel like these stats are going to come up in Pat Ponders.
Actually, they're not.
Really?
But that would have been a good angle.
Seemed right up your alley.
Yeah, it was.
Well, Alabama have more yards of offense than Miami and MTSU combined.
Yeah, collectively. Yes. See, that would have been a really good question.
Yeah.
So what's your answer, Conrad?
Yes.
North of 291?
Yes. I'm just so playing this out in my head. We'll go down the path of Barrett for a second. If what he says is right, I mean, what are we thinking? It's 14-10 with 5 minutes left in that game? Something like that?
I will tell you this. And listen, Wisconsin very well may come in here and pull the shock of shocks. If Jalen Milroe's the quarterback at Alabama, I would be more inclined to subscribe to that.
Yes.
Because he was a walking turnover machine. And those are the type of games that you just cannot give a short field to a team like Wisconsin. And he was absolutely capable of doing that every time he was behind center. I don't feel that way with Ty Simpson or Austin Mack or Keelan Russell, because throughout fall camp, Alabama took care of the football. And so far, the first two games of the year, there's been no turnovers. So had to be a very weird thing to happen to put Wisconsin, in my opinion, Landrum, in a situation where they could literally march down the field multiple times and put Alabama in trouble.
I agree. I think Wisconsin's offense, they're going to have trouble scoring. And while I don't think that Alabama's going to be able to score, it will name their score, if you will.
It won't be like last week for sure.
No. But I feel really good about this being decided by 17 to 24, 28 points.
So put this in perspective. So you just heard what Barrett said about their defense, which they're currently, I think, number 3 in America in total defense. I told you they played Miami of Ohio and Middle Tennessee State. Where do you think in the grand scheme of the national rankings is this Wisconsin offense playing those two opponents?
So out of, 134 teams?
36.
136?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that they are 98th.
106.
111.
Better, they're 72nd. But my point being is that their offense is just ahead of South Alabama. South Alabama's at 73. Wisconsin's at 72. Arizona State 71. Wake Forest, who we watched last night, they're 70th.
By the way, South Alabama's played a better team in Tulane.
Yes. So I'm just pointing out that if you're 72nd in total offense after playing Miami of Ohio,
Yeah, your
Middle
offense isn't
Tennessee
very
State,
good. Yeah.
what makes you think you're going to be able to come to Tuscaloosa, where Alabama plays completely different in Bryant-Denny Stadium under Kalen DeBoer than they do on the road? The lone exception being the LSU game last year. So we will continue with your text 1 hour away from Bet It or Forget It. So much to get into on this Friday. We'd love to hear from you. 1-800-239-WJOX, 205-834-9450. 11:34 here on Jocks. Welcome back in. We'll do Better to Forget It next hour. At 1 o'clock, we will talk to Kyle Parmley, get a little preview of what's. But you know, when it comes to your roof, you need a company you can trust, a company that delivers on promises. And throughout Central Alabama and the Birmingham area, that company is Abide Roofing, and their customers agree. Abide Roofing is rocking a perfect 5-star rating on Google. And here's what some of these few homeowners have said on Google. Abide Roofing is trustworthy and easy to work with. They work hard and have strong values. They're always willing to help, going above and beyond. If you're looking for someone honest, hardworking, and reliable, Abide Roofing is your team. They know the industry inside and out. Another customer they had an employee at their home on Memorial Day morning to repair a leak. Abide Roofing puts its customers first every single time. They believe in honesty, transparency, and the follow-through. When they give their word, they mean it for roofing solutions that are built to last. And I'm walking proof of that as they worked on my roof and got me a full roof replacement dealing with my insurance company. Call Abide Roofing, 205-941-6223, or visit abideroof.com. That's abideroof.com, 205-941-6223.
We got time for your phone calls, 800-239-WJOX. Let's go to Big Dog. Let's talk Bama. Hey, Big Dog.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. First of all, I'd like to say that I love you guys' show.
Thank you.
And I listen all the time, but this particular question that I got is for Pat.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, because how you doing, Pat?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Thanks for calling.
I'm pretty good. I just called because I heard you just say, and I've heard people just go on and on about the criticism about Jalen Milroe, and I heard you just say if Jalen Milroe was the quarterback in this game, you know, you have your optimism or whatever. But wasn't this the same Jalen Milroe that went to Wisconsin last year, and they won 42-10? He had almost 200 yards passing and 75 yards rushing.
Absolutely.
With no turnovers.
Absolutely, it sure was.
So what's this big deal about? Like Jalen Milroe was just the worst thing that ever happened to Alabama. I think because if Ty Simpson would have been a quarterback last year, they would have never beat Georgia, and he beat Georgia twice and beat LSU twice and beat Auburn twice.
No,
so
I agree with that.
I'm trying to see what bringing up Jalen Milroe. Like, yeah, he made a lot of mistakes and turned the ball over a lot, but it's a lot of great things that Jalen Milroe beat Georgia twice.
He
and
did.
People act like they forgot about that.
No, I didn't forget about it. I mean, Jalen Milroe was a Heisman Trophy finalist. It was just the fact that he was inconsistent in regards to his turnovers and some of his decision making. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was a team captain for 2 years. He had the respect of his teammates. And if it wasn't for Jalen Milroe, a lot of those guys would have left Alabama when they had the opportunity to. He was able to hold that football team together. I have a utmost respect for him. He was a team captain. I was just saying that if you were to play out a scenario of Alabama not blowing out Wisconsin, it would have been Jalen Milroe at quarterback because he did have inconsistencies at turning the ball over. That's what I was trying to point out. Not that Jalen Milroe was one of the worst quarterbacks at Alabama. Alabama succeeded under him.
But he blew him out. He blew him out last year, Pat, when they played at Wisconsin.
I know, but I was giving
he
you.
Was a quarterback.
I understand that. I was pointing out if you're asking me for a scenario in which Wisconsin would make this a game, it would have been one of those games. Whether it was, hey, when Alabama was like what, a 2-touchdown favorite over Texas A&M at home. And Jalen Milroe basically handed the game to Texas A&M, and Texas A&M almost beat Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium on an A&M team that was awful. There were plenty of examples where Jalen Milroe did not show up and play a very good game. So I wasn't disrespecting him. I was just pointing out if you were to draw a script up, hypothetically, that it would be a more of a situation for Wisconsin to stay in the game because of those inaccuracies from him turning the ball over. That's what I was trying to point out.
My only thing is that, and I know you guys, I got to let you guys go because you got other calls, but my only thing is this about Jalen Milroe. And I agree with a lot of things that you say. I don't want you to think that I've come on your show to disagree with you.
No, and sir, and let me just tell you this. We're having a conversation, and unfortunately, unlike other people in this country, Like, we can agree to disagree, and I appreciate you calling in and us having this conversation. So finish your thought, and you've got as much time as you like.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say this because I played the quarterback position in high school and college, and it is very, very, very difficult to play the quarterback position. Less known at some place like Alabama, and I'm a Bama fan. And I've disagreed with some of the things that they've done. I've agreed with some of the things that they've done. But
Sure.
It is very, very difficult to play the quarterback position at Alabama, being Jalen Milroe, when you've had three different coordinators. You've had Bill O'Brien, then he had
Tommy Rees.
What's the guy that
Tommy Rees.
the guy that was the coach one year? Tommy Rees.
Yep.
And then he had the guy that was there last year, Sheridan.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I said, yes, he was turnover prone, and you didn't know which Jalen Milroe you was going to get in the Oklahoma game. I was very upset because when he threw the interception, he didn't even lunge to hit the guy. He should have knocked the guy from here the next week when he threw the pick six that he got. But it is very difficult to try to listen to three different minds and a second head coach when you got three different coordinators.
That's a very fair point.
But again, I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys' show, and I'll continue listening to your show. But I just think that some people don't understand that, you know, a lot of that criticism and a lot of that stuff wasn't on Jalen Milroe.
Fair,
but
very fair.
I believe that they try to make Jalen Milroe what he wasn't. Jalen Milroe was not a drop back quarterback passer. He was not a drop back passer.
And one thing's for sure, and you pointed this out, Alabama would not have won in Baton Rouge last year if Jalen Milroe was not the quarterback. I'm a firm believer in that. And there's plenty of other wins that Alabama had because of Jalen Milroe. Listen,
and
thank you.
A lot of bad losses.
Well, listen, we hope you call back. It was a great call. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, big dog.
Appreciate it, Pat. Love you guys' show, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that very much. 1-800-239-WJOX. You have anything? Yeah, I mean, you're an Alabama fan.
I thought that was a great conversation. I thought he made some good points. I thought you made some good points.
And I think that's part of a lot of the frustration, if you look back at his career at Alabama, is because, my gosh, there were so many good things that he did.
Well, and a lot of the times he played his best against the best teams.
Yes.
And he played his worst against the teams that you really weren't concerned about at all. And I think that's what frustrated a lot of people. He did a lot of good things at Alabama, but he certainly left a lot on the table as well, and I think that's how he will be remembered. But the point that you made, though, and the thing that everyone needs to remember about Jalen Milroe is not that he took Alabama to a playoff or he won an SEC championship. It's that when Nick Saban retired, he is the most important piece of that team that stayed.
Question.
And if you think that roster looked rough after Nick Saban retired and Caleb Downs and Isaiah Bond and those guys left,
it would have been gutted more.
You do not want to know what that roster would have looked like if Jalen Milroe had left, and very well could have.
Yeah, he was offered a lot of money to go be the starting quarterback.
Yes,
now,
it
it worked
was.
out for Miami, who they went and got. That would have been something else. All right, we will continue on this Football Friday. We love your phone calls. We love your interaction on the text line, brought to you by Courtesy GMC. This is on Friday.
Almost to halftime here on the Friday edition of Three Man Front. It's a college football Friday, high school football as well. Kyle Parmley breaking down the prep action at 1 o'clock, as he customarily does. Tonight, you get some games. Indiana State taking on number 22, IU, Indiana, the Hoosiers, 5:30. They're on the Big Ten Network. You get Syracuse hosting Colgate at Willie Fritz and Houston. Kansas State trying to avoid going 1-3 on the early season as they travel to take on Arizona. And then New Mexico travels to take on UCLA and Nico and his entire family. Our friend JR, TakingVegas.com. That's who we visit with on Football Fridays this time of year. And how are you, my friend?
I'm doing outstanding, Landrum. Couldn't be more pumped up and excited, man. We've got a huge week 2 in the NFL. We've got a huge week in college football. Anyone that contacted us last week for that big false favorite, we gave you Texas State plus 170, easy outright winner. Guys, 25-11 in the last 2 years on those false favorites. And how about this? 18 of the 25 winners were outright winners with an average of plus 180 or better. So here's what we're doing. I've got a huge blowout. SEC game of the month. LSU taking on Florida this weekend. And I'm giving that to you absolutely free. All you got to do is call the number 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. And right there on a recorded line, no strings attached, you get this blowout. SEC game of the month. LSU, Florida, absolutely free. Plus, I'm throwing in, again, just like last week, guys, another false favorite in college football Saturday that you'll also get absolutely free. So go ahead, give us a shout. It's on the line, 888-994-6669. And again, that's 888-9-WIN-NOW.
JR, explain to our listeners that might have forgotten or they've never heard it, money management, why you stress it so much.
Especially early on, man. Too many people come into this. They get super excited, right? You might have $5,000 you're going to play with during the football season this year. And by the time you get to week 2 or week 3 in the NFL, you're down to like $1,500 because you're making bad decisions. And what I mean by that is guys have a tendency to chase when they're down, right? And one of the things that I preach as far as part of my money management is never utilizing a negative progression. A negative progression meaning that you go more coming off of a loss, right? So if a guy bets 500 on a game, you don't want to bet 1,000 on the next one to try to get back what you lost and still make a profit. You want to lower the amount that you're betting, whether it's one game or whether it's 2 games that you're going to do that with. I preach it based on the amount of your bankroll, the amount that you're normally betting or want to be betting, and I try to get you to a point where you're betting 5 or 10 times what you're starting with in the first couple of months that you're doing business with me. That's how I take a $200 bettor and turn them into a $2,000 or $3,000 bettor within the first 2 or 3 months. That's not a overnight success story. It's not going to happen in a day or 2 or in a week. This is Taking Vegas. We do it the right way, and I'm telling you.
JR, we just lost him. We will try to rejoin JR, but he talks about money management. That's something he stresses on the show. Also, when he rejoins us, we're going to get JR's free pick, and he'll tell you more about the text line. I was going to ask him, and I will once he comes back on the line, about some of the unders, because the under once again hitting in last night's Thursday night game between the Packers and the Commanders, and what we saw there, but also a trend here early in the season with a lot of unders hitting when it comes to the NFL. JR telling us last week that it's kind of a feeling out period right now for Vegas, and here in the early part of the season, some of these lines, and he said these false favorites you can take advantage of, as he tells us, and he rejoins us now. JR, don't know what happened, but continue.
I was talking.
Don't feel bad.
So I don't know how deep we got into the conversation about the money management, and how we are so big on not utilizing any negative progression. Positive progression is the name of the game, and this is just like anyone that understands compound interest. Hitting a certain percentage and using the right strategy along with that percentage can turn into a lot of money. I mean, we can legitimately take. Saying is betting, let's say 200 a game, and within 90 days, let's say 60 days, get that same person using house money. By progressing as we are continuing to win, we're betting a little bit more, betting a little bit more. That guy can be betting between $1,500 and $2,500 a game, or $2,000 and $3,000 a game. Again, using house money, using a progression. So, look, it starts like this. Call the number right now. I'm giving you a false favorite in college football. Another blowout. All we do is hit these false favorites left and right. It's absolutely free on a recorded line. And you're also getting my SEC game of the month, and that one's between LSU and Florida. Great game. Call now and get them free, no strings attached. 888-994-6669. That's 888-9-WIN-NOW.
I was telling our listeners that I saw a stat earlier today, and after last night's game at Lambeau, a lot of NFL games going under the total here in the early part of the season. Is that coincidence, or is that a trend that you typically see?
I see that every year. We really have a tendency to go under the posted totals for the first 2 weeks or so. It is, listen, it takes a little bit of time to get that, the greases going, the oil in the machine, so to speak, right? The wide receiver on the same page as the quarterback. Got a lot of quarterbacks that have been moved around the league. Regardless, you got to get some continuity there. And defense seems to play better early on when everyone's healthy, as opposed to when they're banged up later on, or fourth or fifth week of the season. So we've always seen a tendency for unders early on, and we're going to see overs when we get towards the latter part of the year. It's kind of the same thing every year, but you still got to be careful about picking your spot and the amounts that you're betting on these games, right? And that's the big part of what we bring to the table. Not only do I win like crazy, you guys know we win, right? But it also comes down to how we're going to get you to that next level. I love taking a player that is normally betting 100 or 400 max a game, and by the time he spends 3-4 months with me, he's betting 5,000-10,000 a game, asking me, should I go to Vegas? Should I go, take $25,000 of the earnings that you made me and go make a $50,000 or $100,000 score? We love this stuff. That's what I live for. So, that is the name of the game.
All right, the text line once again, because we're short on time, and then the free pick.
You got it, guys. Give us a shout. 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. You're going to get a blowout in the SEC between LSU and Florida, and I got an underdog that's going to win outright. This one is plus 170 or better, and it's absolutely free on the recorded line. Again, 888-9-WIN-NOW. Now, free pick this week. I gave you the Steelers last week. I'll own that, right? If you told me the Steelers were going to score 34 points, obviously we're using that game day and night. We never thought that the Jets would keep up and it would be only a 2-point game. It is what it is. We put it in the closet. We forget about it. Now, this week, the Rams are on the road against a Tennessee team that, sure, they had 4 turnovers last week. Looked okay. Cam Ward's going to be a good quarterback in this league, but right now the Rams look great. For all the teams that played last week, they really were clicking on all cylinders. Matthew Stafford, even with that back, being a little bit pulled, looked great. Lay the 5.5. Don't be afraid. That is a very young group of, offensive players that have enough experience to be able to put up a lot of points. Look for them to steamroll Tennessee in Tennessee. So get in the Rams, minus the 5.5.
The number one more time.
888
It is 12 noon, halfway home on this Football Friday. Thanks for tuning us in. Hope everyone is in store for a great weekend. Going to be a little bit warmer than you would like. That's good news. Going to be hot again next week.
I had adjusted temperatures for next week where I thought a couple of days had said early or low 90s, but now it's kind of mid 80s.
That
which
would
I guess
be
is better.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
You know, especially on Friday nights, what we do with these high school football games, I would love to be able to actually have the majority of the season feeling like football season. Because very rarely, because we play 10 straight weeks in a row, and maybe when you get to maybe week 8, you start getting a little bit of a chill in the air on a Friday night. But man, it's going to be hot tonight. Going to be hot next Friday night too.
It's going to be hot, but now that I've gotten older, I get chillier faster. Maybe that's just natural age progression. Not really sure. But last year,
Sounds like you should probably go to a doctor for that.
I do remember earlier in the season where it got colder than it typically does, and walking out of the stadium, because I was still in shorts and just a light pullover, it was cold. But a lot of times it's just kind of getting acclimated to that, right? You got to get acclimated. It's still warm outside. What does that mean? There's bugs, stinging, insects, all of that good stuff. You don't want that around your house, outside with your kids, but also inside. That's the worst thing. The wife screams, come and kill this bug. It's in the kitchen. It's in the bathroom. It's in the kids' room. Stark Exterminators. They're your friends. They're my friends. They can help you. Call today, 855-STARK-NOW, or go to starkexterminators.com to get the free home or business pest inspection. They've been family-owned for over 61 years. That still resonates with someone like me. Maybe it does you. And they're going to use the most environmentally effective methods available. Stark Exterminators. Give them a call today. 855-STARK-NOW. Go to starkexterminators.com. They will inspect your property thoroughly, inside and out, come up with customized solutions just for you. 855-STARK-NOW. starkexterminators.com. Make sure you tell them Landrum from 3-Man Front and Jocks sent you.
So tomorrow morning, it will be early morning football for both Alabama and Auburn. Bama will kick off at 11 a.m. against Wisconsin. Meanwhile, the Auburn Tigers hosting the South Alabama Jags. This will be the first ever meeting between those two in-state schools. That's an 11:45 kickoff. And then tomorrow night, UAB is hosting the Akron Zips. That is a primetime game at Protective Stadium that you can hear right here on Jocks. Last night in the NFL, the Packers took out the Commanders 27-18. Jordan Love, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, former Alabama running back, he finished with 84 yards, 23 carries, 1 touchdown. How about Packer tight end Tucker Kraft? Did any of you guys have him on your fantasy? Did you have him on your fantasy team?
Oh, yeah.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. 6 passes caught, career high 124 yards with a touchdown. You got some big points last night.
Got him in like the 10th or 11th. He's one of those sleeper guys that I was keeping my eye on, and it's paying off so far.
Man, where did he play college ball?
That is a great question.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you in a.
No.
I just didn't know if you knew.
Don't care. He's a Green Bay Packer, and he's great.
Okay.
Iowa? I don't know that.
Probably.
You know what?
Yes. We're going to find out.
I was
real
thinking
fast.
of their defensive end last night. That kind of showed out.
He went to South Dakota State.
Okay. Upper Midwest guy.
Yep.
Same difference.
Okay. The Commanders, man, that was a really rough first quarter. Only 11 yards of total offense in the first quarter against the Packers. Jaden Daniels for the game, he threw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, but those touchdowns came late in the game. So, but Green Bay now 2-0 for the first time since 2020. And last night was an Amazon game. And it's another season of having Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit do the game. And I was telling Conrad earlier this morning, I've never been like an Al Michaels fan. That doesn't mean that I think he's bad or I don't like him. But as an announcer, what do you think of Al Michaels?
Just a veteran. I enjoy the way
solid.
Yeah, I enjoy the way he calls a game.
Oh, I do too. I just, he's not going to be put in the, my top 3 list, but
You never listen to Al Michaels call a game and go, man, that's annoying.
no, not at all.
No.
Which, honestly, is pretty good for a lot of
He
people.
tells a story. It's smooth. It's easy on my ears. I
And
don't have any issue. I like Al Michaels.
In the early 70s, he was the Cincinnati Reds play-by-play guy. And he left the Cincinnati Reds and went to the San Francisco Giants. And then right after that, he started doing things for ABC, including, obviously, the call that made him the most famous was the victory on ice in the 1980 Winter Olympics as the United States knocked off the Russians. Do you believe in miracles? And then he did Monday Night Football for a long time. Of course, he did Sunday Night Football on NBC, and now he's doing Amazon. He is 80 years old. And I bring that up because, no offense to anybody that's 80 years old and listening to this program right now, this dude is sharp as a tack. Like, you don't even think about him being 80, do you?
No.
I mean, he's outstanding. Well, would you like to hear what his secret to his health success and why he's as good as he is? Take a listen to this.
True that you have never knowingly eaten a vegetable in your life.
That is true.
That is true.
I was born when my parents were 18. And my mother hadn't even read Dr. Spock at that point. So she just let me have the run of the course. And I always pushed the vegetables away. To this day, no. And I guess what I've proven, Chris, is that man does not need vegetables to survive.
But is it just possible that you would like, I'm thinking of one of the more non-objectionable vegetables, a carrot?
Oh, please. Please.
A carrot?
No, I can't. No, that's an objectionable vegetable.
So he's never had a vegetable in his entire life.
That's crazy.
It's a lie. There's no way you've never had a vegetable.
Unknowingly.
That's awesome.
I'm like you. I find it hard to believe he hasn't eaten something.
You've never had a chicken pot pie before?
Wait a minute. Does this have a vegetable in it? Oh, I can't have it. No. But I guess he's saying knowingly eating
like he's never going to order
vegetable
a vegetable
by itself.
or cook it. Yeah.
But Pat, when I heard that, I thought about you.
No,
that was my first thought too.
I just don't eat anything green.
Anything
Never have.
green.
Nothing. Zero.
It's like 99% of vegetables.
But I eat carrots. I eat peas. I eat other things.
Peas are green?
Peas are green.
Not filled peas.
Oh, okay.
Not black eye peas.
Okay, I got you.
Not purple whole peas.
There are green beans and lima beans, but there's other beans that aren't good.
But also peas are technically known in the botanical world as a fruit, not a vegetable.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Anyways, short of Al Michaels saying, oh, and by the way, I smoke 2 packs a day, and I recommend eating 2 pounds of cooked bacon.
Well, it's like Warren Buffett. He drinks like 6 Cokes a day, and he has his entire life, and he's perfectly fine.
I would not, if you're on the fence whether to consume vegetables or not, I'm going to chalk this one up to Al Michaels has really good genetics.
Yeah, I think this is more of an exception to the rule than the rule itself. Yeah.
This is not one you probably want to implement without the advice of a physician.
Vegetables aren't that bad. I used to hate vegetables.
I did when I was.
I hated them.
Yeah.
I've gotten way better about eating. Like
I used to eat them
now.
because I was told that I needed to, right?
Yeah, correct.
Now I enjoy vegetables.
Yeah, now there's
and
some,
I have for a while. There's certain vegetables that I love.
Yeah, well,
I love collard greens with hot sauce.
See, there's something like broccoli. You're never gonna catch me eating broccoli.
Love broccoli.
I think
I
broccoli's
like broccoli
disgusting.
too.
But I want it steamed. I'm not real big on getting the bag that's and just eating them like a chip.
Yeah.
No. But I like broccoli. Green beans, good. All the peas that Pat's talking about, love it.
Asparagus is the best.
Is good. We know why you like it, creepo.
Well, it tastes good, and it's the gift that keeps on giving.
How do you like your asparagus cooked, though? Do you want it?
We'll just do it on like the stovetop.
Yeah.
Put some like garlic powder, salt, pepper, maybe sprinkle a little shredded Parmesan cheese on there.
That's good.
That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Good for y'all.
Pat,
I admire you, Pat.
Hey, Pat, if we deep fried something like the deep fried green beans, the tempura fried green beans with a dipping sauce, would you eat those?
Those are good.
Oh, those are good.
No thanks.
Oh, those are
You wouldn't do it?
Nope. No, I really have. I mean, it.
What about cabbage? You eat cabbage?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I don't like
Just
cabbage.
the smell. Are you
See,
kidding
for
me?
me, it depends on how it's cooked.
Paul likes
like if
cabbage.
it's in something, then it's fine.
Yes, he does.
So you said you eat carrots,
I do.
corn.
Yes.
What else?
Is corn a veg?
And beans or black-eyed peas, whatever.
Fruit. Black-eyed peas.
See,
purple
corn.
whole peas.
It's like a cheating vegetable.
Doesn't count.
Because that was my line as a kid. Is you have to pick a vegetable, and I always choose corn. And my mom would say, "Well, that doesn't count."
Well, according to our lunchroom with a square pizza, it was.
Yeah, it was part of your.
That was
Yeah,
the,
nothing
the
like-
natural go-to.
Nothing like pizza, corn on the cob, and chocolate milk at 10:15 for your lunch.
You trick it up and give you tater tots too. It's like, wait a minute.
That's awful.
Just clean out the freezer day.
So awful.
So yeah, 80 years young for Al Michaels, and
What was it was in the broadcast? They were out in the Bay Area. They were at Levi Stadium, but they showed the shot coming back of like the Golden Gate Bridge. And Michaels was like, "Yeah, that's a beautiful shot, but that's not where we are." And then starts complaining about the location of the stadium.
Yeah,
he's an icon. He's great.
He's a great broadcaster. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of applauding him for.
I respect the honesty. There's a lot of people that wouldn't want to admit that, but
Whatever's worked for him, it's done him well. 80 years old and still working.
see, I bet people like Tom Brady hear that and just start screaming, like, this was all a lie?
Well, So I'm sure many of you have thoughts on that on the text line. We welcome that along with some football talk. So we talk a lot about the schedule around the SEC this weekend. Spent a lot of time talking about Georgia, Tennessee, Vandy, South Carolina, Florida, LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss. But there's one game that we really haven't talked about or even mentioned, and it's an interesting one. And it's the Oklahoma Sooners visiting the Temple Owls. A lot of people going, what? Like Oklahoma going to Philadelphia? Like, what is this? Why is this happening? So, I had to do a little research because it was bothering me. It was my own Pat Ponders. Like, why are you playing this game? This is why they're playing the game. Rarely does Oklahoma ever play in the Northeast, first off. Just doesn't happen, even in their history. They played Army at Yankee Stadium in 1961, Boston College at Braves Field in 1949, and in 1942 in front of 3,000 fans at Temple Field, according to the UPI, United Press International. The Owls beat the Sooners back in 1942, 14-7. So outside of those games that I just mentioned, Oklahoma just really does not go up to that Philly-New York corridor ever to play a football game. So this contract with Temple by Oklahoma was signed 9 years ago because then head coach of the Temple Owls, a guy by the name of Matt Rhule.
Who is that again?
It's Rahuli.
That's right.
Matt Rahuli. He instructed his football ops director to reach out to some of the Blue Bloods because Temple was just coming off 10-win season. And he was like, hey, call around. I want to get a deal done. I'll go play them, but I want them up here in Philadelphia. I want them to come here.
We're building something special here.
Absolutely. So his football ops guy reached out to USC, UCLA, Alabama, Florida, and Oklahoma.
You said Blue Bloods, right?
I was about to say, so UCLA's?
Florida, no.
Well, yeah, others too.
The Sooners were the only ones to bite on the proposal. The only one. The others said no, thank you. They agreed to a deal, 3 games. You're going to play 2 in Norman, and we'll bring up 1, and we'll come to Philadelphia. That's the deal. Oklahoma paid Temple $1 million for 2 games. So basically $500,000 a game to come to Norman. And there's no money exchanging hands, obviously, by Oklahoma going to Philadelphia. Now, that's in contrast to last weekend when La Monroe came to Alabama. Alabama paid La Monroe $1.925 million to play that game in Tuscaloosa. So Oklahoma paid them $1 million for 2 games. So this was like a really good cost-cutting move by Oklahoma.
Sure.
To pay, you get 2 games for $1 million, whereas Bama just paid La Monroe $1.925 million for 1 game. Now, the Owls have combined their first 2 home games at Lincoln Field. They have averaged, total 27,000 fans. 27,220 to be exact. And everyone in Philadelphia, they are hoping that the game will draw more than 27,220 that they have combined their first 2 games. Oklahoma's been given 4,000 tickets. Those were gobbled up. And the general ticket population, they believe that it will be a majority of Oklahoma fans that made the trip to Philadelphia. To see, I mean, this is one of those games. It's like, hey, let's go see the Liberty
Why
Bell.
not? Yeah.
Let's go hang out in Philly, okay? So it had me also thinking about the last time that Alabama played Temple in Philadelphia. This is way before Conrad's parents even had the idea of, well, we're going to have a little Crimson Conrad. 1988, that was the first game of the season in 1988. The Tide won the game 37-0. Bill Curry was the head coach for Alabama. There was a future Super Bowl winning head coach that was on the other sideline for Temple. Would you like to take a guess who the head coach of the Temple Owls against Alabama in 1988?
Dick Vermeil.
It's a really good guess.
Jimmy Johnson. I don't know.
I know this isn't right, but Bill Belichick.
Bruce Arians.
Oh.
This was his 6th and final year as the head coach of the Temple Owls. He would leave Temple after that. He would go be he would go to the NFL for a year or 2. Then he would go to Mississippi State as their offensive coordinator. And then guess where he ended up? Alabama as their offensive coordinator, and made a very interesting screen pass call to Ed Sissom.
I witnessed it in person.
In the Iron Bowl. That's kind of the rest of the story in regards to how this game came to be. But Oklahoma and Temple tomorrow at Lincoln Financial Field. Hey, Temple's too.
Oklahoma fans aren't staying in the hotel we stayed at.
Well, they'd get a show outside.
Not one you want to see.
We will continue on with this Football Friday. This is three-man front. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll do Bet It or Forget It for the week. I give them 5 games. Conrad, Molly, Landrum, they pick against the spread. All 3 tied. Continues her streak of picking every game, taking the under. Or she'll actually do something different this week. Not really sure.
One week this year, I will take every game in the under. I don't know what week it'll be yet.
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah, and the week before. And then the week before that.
It's just more fun that way.
Is it? Okay. Are you seeing cracks in your foundation? Are your doors and windows sticking? These aren't just minor problems. You could have a bigger issue around your house. So call Alabama Professional Services, 205-951-9717. The pros, they really know their stuff. They'll inspect your foundation, clearly explain the problem, give you an honest, pressure-free solution. They can fix the foundation. They can even tackle that sinking driveway or patio with their fast and clean poly-level system. Call them today, 205-951-9717, or simply go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. Been protecting Alabama homes and fixing those homes since 1977, and they'll protect yours too. 205-951-9717.
Text line is open, 205-834-9450. Going back to Al Michaels, going on record saying he has never eaten a vegetable. That's right. You heard it right.
That's something that when people woke up for breakfast this morning, they go, you know what? Did not have that on my bingo card that I would learn today that Al Michaels has never eaten a vegetable.
I rarely eat vegetables for breakfast, though.
Me neither.
Or fruits, for that matter.
I like a good banana for breakfast.
Do you still eat them upside down?
You mean the correct way? Yes, I do eat them the correct way.
I forgot that about you.
Me too.
Blame nature, not me.
This text reads, throw some fat back or a ham hock in any vegetable, it becomes excellent. 1,000%.
My wife has definitely turned me on to that because growing up, green beans with bacon bits in them or anything, I never had that. It is a game changer. It is an absolute game changer. Now, maybe not as healthy, but tastes incredible.
Tastes incredible. Corey says, substituting my sides for another steak when I go out to eat from now on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
That's a win.
Al Michaels has never eaten a salad? No way. I believe him. Why would he say it?
It's hard to believe.
Unless he's being funded by a special interest group. EatLessVegetables.com.
Maybe that's it.
Jamie predicting Okies' first loss when they traveled to Philadelphia to take on the Temple. Oh,
they're a 23.5-point favorite currently.
I thought it'd be.
Thought it'd be more?
Yeah.
Temple's 2-0.
Well, there's a lot of teams that are 2-0 right now.
Oh, you mean like Wisconsin?
And not Alabama, correct.
We got the police out today.
Yeah.
Here on the text line. Normally, these payouts don't happen until the next spring. They're not sending them home with a check. Thank you. In case anybody was trying to forensically follow the money.
Wouldn't it be cool if after the game, though, they all went out there and gave them a big check?
Big check.
That'd be cool.
Like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Big check. And then have to load it on the plane. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
If Temple can host Oklahoma, UAB should be able to host someone more premier in non-conference protective stadium. UAB hosted Mississippi State one time, right?
Yes.
Think about it, Conrad. Who?
I know. I'm trying to think of other UAB games that I can remember. But
Can we get Notre Dame down here?
Probably not.
You never know. He's still running into scheduling snafus.
Worst thing they can say is no.
What about Oregon State? Is that premier enough? Sacramento State.
So, I'd pay to watch that.
By the way, I got a little lowdown on that. I'll tell you about it later on. Cliff in Northport says, FYI, Hugh Hefner of Playboy fame was 96 when he died and supposedly drank 36 full Dr. Peppers a day.
36?
Yeah, and ate over 3 pounds of M&Ms a day.
Oh.
There's no way. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't have that diet. 36 in a day? I mean, you're putting down a Dr. Pepper every 30 minutes you're awake every single day of your life then. There's no way. Would you not just be burping all the time?
Or was he substituting M&Ms for maybe something else that he was eating? Like maybe they looked like a blue M&M.
I was about to say, maybe they were infused with something. Also, he was really skinny, was he not?
Yeah.
More power to him. I guess he was smoking 36 cigarettes to go with those Dr. Peppers in to keep him to keep him thin. If that was the case.
Follow up to Al Michaels, Cigar Cowboy, asking, "Is he counting potatoes?" I don't know.
See, I feel like potatoes are like corn, right? It's kind of like a cheat vegetable. Like it counts, but not really.
Jimmy says I could eat chicken and any kind of greens all day, every day. Anything is better than what Shooter McGavin eats for breakfast every day, LOL.
What does he eat in the first? I just remember the pancakes in the second one. He was obsessed with those pancakes. I'm trying to remember what he eats for breakfast.
Or is it just a line from the movie?
Yeah, probably so.
No, it's a funny line from the movie, and I can't call it. Don says, "Hey, everyone, happy Football Friday." He actually agreed that the Alabama game will be close going to the fourth quarter. Enjoy your football weekend in War Eagle. Continued prayers for our friend Pelham Gator. He was a little bit better yesterday when I saw him. PG, if you're listening, thinking about you, man. 1997 bullcrap. Callie Bruce Arians made against Auburn. Bold prediction of the week, Mike in Andalusia. My Troy Trojans in the home upset of the Memphis Who's -3-5. Go Trojans.
You got close last week.
Collards and turnip greens are the goat. Past the cornbread. My grandmother, she used to make the black-eyed peas, and she would save the pot liquor. And she would save it. And when I go down there, she'd make me her homemade cornbread, and she'd warm up that pot liquor and pour that pot liquor over the, oh.
Was that ever a New Year's tradition for you, the black-eyed peas thing?
Mom used to stress it when she was alive.
My grandmother was very adamant about that.
Yep, you were going to have it.
Yep, my mom was that way too.
And now I do it. I give most of it away. Johnny says I eat turnip greens 3 to 4 times a week.
They're good for you.
And keep you
clean.
Yeah, no kidding.
Keep everything going through. Those are good. I like collard greens better than turnip greens. What about?
I'm going to be honest, don't like either of them.
I don't either. Mm-mm.
The vegetables, I don't like broccoli, like I said. Collards, turnip
what about
greens.
Cream spinach?
And I could do cream spinach and Brussels.
I like spinach.
Don't like Brussels. Yeah, spinach is
See,
fine.
and I like Brussels.
Ooh. I think, too, also it's the vegetables that smell the worst when you cook them, in my opinion, Brussels, broccoli, and collards. I think that's part of my issue. They smell really bad.
Going back to, because we have other texts on it, Al Michaels, and people saying, you tell me he's never eaten a potato. I am assuming he's not.
Yeah, no. Who doesn't like potatoes are the one of the foods I don't think I've ever met somebody that I heard say they don't like potatoes.
Here's the Happy Gilmore. Thank you, Dutchman. Shooter tells Happy, I eat blank like you for breakfast.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat that for
something
breakfast.
like that.
We will continue with your text messages coming up next, or forget it on this Friday. Couple weeks into this competition, Landrum 10 wins, 5 losses. Let's see if anybody wants to take charge of this race. This is our weekly edition of Bet It or Forget It.
The following is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Or forget it.
All right, here we go, folks. Game 1 out of the gate. Clemson, a 2.5-point favorite. 52.5 is the point total. They're taking on Georgia Tech. Clemson has won each of its last 9 meetings between these two teams. Matter of fact, Clemson 7-1-1 against the spread. 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone over the total, including last year's 42-21 shootout. Clemson last week had to rally to come back against Troy. They were a 33-point home favorite last week. So let's start with Molly. Clemson, 2.5, point total 52.5.
Bzzz. That's my buzz and my bee impression.
Oh, sorry.
Bzzz.
It's actually a yellow jacket, not a bee. But
Well,
go
but they
ahead.
still. Bzzz.
Sorry.
No, I know. No, I'm taking Georgia Tech here. I have faith
And the points.
in the points.
Okay.
I have faith in the Yellow Jackets. I have faith in Brent Key. I know they've been dealing with some injuries, but they have the sting, to beat Clemson. Give me the Yellow Jackets.
All right, you got Georgia Tech. All right, Conrad, you're next. What you like?
Yeah, I don't totally believe in the Clemson offense yet, but one thing that I do believe in is the Clemson defense. And I still remember this Georgia Tech team going up against a Colorado team in week 1 and Haynes King having to break that big run to secure the victory for the Yellow Jackets. I like Brent Key. I like Haynes King. But I think Clemson's going to be a little fired up after the performance against Troy. However, I'm banking on it being a lower scoring game, a lot of running the football. So I'm going to take the under.
Oh, so you pulled a Molly.
I'm going to take the under.
Great pick.
All right, how about you, Landrum?
Yeah, Clemson has underwhelmed me on the offensive side, and if somehow Georgia Tech can dial up something, make them one-dimensional, which I think they can, playing at home, I like Brent Key, trustful native, and the Yellow Jackets, even though Yellow Jackets do not
Make that noise.
smell fear. But I think Clemson's fearful walking into this one. Sorry, Conrad. Georgia Tech, this is how they punch their ticket. You look at the rest of their schedule. Oh, this is going to be up for debate at the end of the year when Georgia Tech is a college football playoff team. We start scrutinizing the schedule. Is this win going to be enough? But they get it.
All right, game number 2. Vandy's at South Carolina. South Carolina is a 4.5-point favorite. Point total is 48.5. South Carolina has 16 straight wins in the series against Vandy. The Gamecocks have covered the spread in 6 of the last 7 meetings against these two teams. The under is 7-3 in the last 10 meetings. So what do you think, Conrad? We'll start with you.
So y'all like the smarty pants from the Atlanta area. I like the smarty pants in the Nashville area. I think Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, I'm rolling with it. We've seen them both play Virginia Tech. Vanderbilt looked like a much better team in that game, ultimately, especially in the second half. I think Vanderbilt gets it done. So give me Vandy plus the 4.5. I think they cover, and I think they pull off the upset.
All right, how about you, Landrum?
LED lights, the atmosphere that is Williams-Bright. It's going to be a big game atmosphere. That sets up perfectly for Diego Pavia. He's going to feel like he's on stage doing whatever music genre he prefers with those big diamond earrings and all that drip. Give me Vandy, the other Smarties.
Molly.
This is for you because I also have Vandy, but I will say I do think they will cover. I'm hesitant on if they will win. I could see this being like a 2 or 3 point South Carolina win. So that's why I'm taking Vanderbilt to cover.
Game number 3, Georgia, a 3.5-point favorite for this contest. 49.5 is the point total against Tennessee. Georgia has won each of the last 8 meetings. They're 7-1 against the spread in those 8 games. Average win by the Dogs, 25 points. Vols are 2-5 in their last 7 as a home underdog. Start with you, Landrum. Who you like?
I'm sorry, Pat. How many in a row?
That would be 8.
8.
13 of the last 15.
Woo. And think about some of the Tennessee teams and how they have had better quarterbacks and they've had better skill position guys. I'm with you. I was starting to lean Tennessee early in the week and drink the Kool-Aid. But you know what? Kirby Smart, if there is one game he's going to get up for, he's going to have his team ready for, it's going to be this one. Remember the viral audio that got leaked from his practice last season? Georgia's going to play. Georgia's going to shut down the Tennessee offense. And they find a way to muster enough points. It's going to be ugly. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Georgia. Give me the Bulldogs.
Molly.
I'm with Landrum when he says he doesn't think this will be a high-scoring game. I'm actually taking the under in this one. There it is, the first under. I've only taken one so far, though, so not bad. And, you might feel like Tennessee is due, but we're also talking about a school that lost 15 in a row to Alabama. Like I said, this is 8 in a row. They've lost to Georgia. And Georgia and Kirby, they just shine in these big game moments. But I'm more comfortable with sticking to the under in this one.
Conrad.
Easiest pick of the week, Georgia by 2 touchdowns. We do this every year with Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia started off slow. Someone's going to come. No, it's Georgia. Now, until Kirby Smart proves me wrong, easiest pick of the week.
There you go.
All right, game number 4. South Alabama visits Auburn for the first time. Tigers 24.5-point favorite. 54.5 is the point total. South Alabama is coming off a near upset of Tulane as a 13.5-point underdog. Auburn, meanwhile, 1-8 against the spread after recording 2 straight wins. So with them being 2-0 and 2 straight wins, they're 1-8 against the spread. Let's start with you, Molly.
Contrary to popular belief, I actually like the over in this game. But you got to
54.5.
Yeah, 54.5. Because, obviously South Alabama, no offense to Ball State, but they're a much better team than Ball State. I do think they will put up a fight. I think Auburn will win comfortably, but I do think that this game will go over the point total. And plus, Auburn, it's homecoming. They're wearing their stormtroopers. There's a lot of hype. I like a lot of points.
Conrad.
I am actually in agreement with Molly on this one. I'm going to take the over. I think, again, you've got an Auburn team that's probably going to want to keep passing the ball, get more reps for that offense in Jackson Arnold. I think South Alabama, a much better opponent than Ball State last week, so I think they'll be able to score 14-17, something like that. So, yeah, I like Auburn to win comfortably. Let's call it 45-17, somewhere in there. So, yeah, I like the over.
I'm actually going to go the opposite of you guys. I think this Auburn defense actually has a chance by the end of the year to be really, really good. Now their secondary is getting challenged, and that's a lot of that has to do with what happened in the Baylor game. They'll have a chance to redeem themselves somewhat. I'm going to go under that total. I think Auburn's defense holds South Alabama in check. They don't try to be too flashy on the scoreboard, knowing what's coming up next week. Looking at something like a 38-7, 38-10.
Is this because you took the over last week for Auburn and they burned you?
Has nothing to do with that.
That happened to me, though.
Oh, I know.
All right, final game of the week. Wisconsin visits Alabama. The Tide 20.5-point favorite. 46.5 is the point total. Bama is 23-9-1 as a home favorite the last 6 years. Wisconsin has never beaten an SEC-ranked opponent on the road. Bama also is carrying that 85-game home non-ranked opponent winning streak. So let's start with Crimson Conrad. Who you like?
Well, I misspoke a couple of minutes ago. I got ahead of myself because I said that Georgia over Tennessee was the easiest pick of the week. This is actually the easiest pick of the week. It's Alabama. And it's we've talked about it all week long, right? You got a backup quarterback coming into Tuscaloosa. You haven't been battle tested at all if you're Wisconsin. This is an Alabama team that plays really well at home. They still have a chip on their shoulder because of week 1. I think Alabama wins. I have Alabama 38-13 over the Badgers.
Landrum.
Danny O'Neal is the quarterback, the backup quarterback for the Badgers. It's going to be Danny, Neal by the end of this one. The athleticism of Alabama walking into Bryant-Denny, the environment that we'll see, it's going to be too much. Bama minus the points in a big way.
All right, Molly, you wrap things up.
Oh, Conrad, don't let me down, because I'm also taking Alabama in the points. but I feel like every time I take Alabama the points, they always let me down. But I don't see it happening here. I think Alabama wins big over the Badgers.
There's a Big Ten team playing in this game, and you're not taking the under.
No. I'm growing.
That might be a first.
Well, she really thinks it's going to be a blowout. She
I'm
really
growing.
thinks Alabama's
I'm
going
learning.
to.
Well, I'm going to put my pads on in the morning. I'm going to run out on that field, Molly, and
Thank
I'm
you.
going to put my best foot forward for the Tide.
But the under was my other option, but I went with Alabama.
There you go. All right, that's this week's edition of Bet It or Forget It. We'll see if we will break the stalemate, as all three of you are 10-5 on the season, which that's a very good record. We just need someone to take hold of this and run with it. I think it'll be Landrum. I like his picks.
That's right.
I'm just saying. Just
Long
I like-
season, guys.
Just like I said, I like Wimp's picks.
You're way too confident for week 3. A lot of football left.
Is this confidence?
And that's coming from a guy that
I would
went-
call it smugness.
He went
like 1-4 or
1-4
something
in
the
week one.
first week, and he was ready to like.
And he was uber confident.
And yet, where are we now?
Well, uber confident in Alabama.
Yeah.
I was rusty. Week 0.
All right, so just to recap, Molly, if Alabama loses to Wisconsin, Conrad is doing what?
Gotcha.
And he's
We're going to light me on fire while I'm wearing my Bray Hubbard jersey.
Yeah, the Bray Herbert jersey will be burned.
I don't condone that.
While I'm wearing it.
Let's do like the Bills Mafia and those videos that are out there. Light one of the tables on fire and
I can jump through it?
Yeah, jump through it instead of just lighting you on fire.
All right, we'll do that.
All right. More three-man front on this Football Friday on Jocks. As you're around the old home weekend, if you notice a tree or two that needs to be looked at, you need to call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443. And I'm talking about those trees that might be a little bit too close to your house, whether it's your driveway, a car in the driveway, whatever the case may be. Golston Tree Service, they can handle any job around your house in regards to the trees being cut down. 205-337-4443. They're your trusted local experts in fast, affordable, professional tree removal, trimming, and cleanup. They're licensed, insured. They are ready to handle any job, big or small. Give them a call, Golston Tree Service at 205-337-4443. And don't forget, something happens overnight, wee hours of the morning, on the weekend, whatever the case may be, Golston offers the 24-hour emergency tree service. 205-337-4443. That is Golston Tree Service.
Text line is open. Your texts are always welcome on a Friday. You want to give a score prediction, you want to just react or comment on something that's going on throughout the show, you can certainly do so. Going back to Al Michaels admitting that he's never eaten a vegetable. People asking what are the difference between collard greens and turnip greens. Turnip green would be a little earthier.
This is what the Google machine says. Collard greens have thicker, heartier, smoother leaves and a more mild, bitter flavor similar to cabbage, while turnip greens have thinner, more tender leaves and a more peppery or tangy taste to them. So there you go. That's your difference there.
Thank you. Conrad doesn't know balls by 10. Well,
we will find out tomorrow at 2:30.
Buddy Love says light Conrad and the table on fire.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
What if it's like the videos, once you go through the table, you're going to catch fire? Now, hopefully, myself or Pat will quickly extinguish you.
That would be nice. I would appreciate that. I've never had third-degree burns, but I have to imagine they're not fun, so I'd rather not have those.
Wear an extra shirt.
All over my body.
Yeah. JJ says Conrad just jinxed Alabama, calling it the easiest pick. Thanks, Conrad.
You're welcome.
Golly, he doesn't learn.
You are welcome.
Why doesn't Pat play? Because Pat puts the games together and reads them to us. I cook nearly every meal in our house. I try to have a green vegetable every night for dinner. Love them. Totally agree with Conrad on the corn deal. I'll use corn as an ingredient in like a soup or a casserole, but eating corn by itself, it has virtually no nutritional value as your body can't digest.
Well, that's half the fun is you get to see it later. But it tastes good. Like corn on the cob with just some butter and salt. It's incredible. So good.
Take it or leave it with corn.
Not a big corn
for
fan?
me. I just.
What about like street corn? You know, with like different seasonings and stuff in it. Whew.
Yeah, like they do at Social Taco.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
Yeah,
that stuff's
it's good. But corn's never my go-to. My wife really likes corn.
I love corn,
especially cream corn. I don't want the cream. That's way too sweet.
Not as big a fan of the cream corn.
If I wanted to eat pudding, I'd eat pudding.
I really like corn.
You do like corn. I ate cornflakes as a kid.
It's cone. Remember that kid?
I do.
Children of the Corn.
It's a little different.
Maybe not that.
It's a little different.
Research the roots of turnip greens and thank me later. Love the show. Is he talking about the actual roots of the turnip green or the origin of turnip greens?
I don't know. This just says that they were originally used as animal feed. No idea.
Another listener says, calling BS on Al Michaels. You telling me he's never had French fries? Again, I don't think that he was considering potatoes as a vegetable when he made that statement. It's hard for me to believe that Al Michaels, if he is not eaten a vegetable knowingly in his life, all 80 years of them, that he never consumed a French fried potato with a piece of red meat.
Well, and I also think we would also
or a baked potato.
say, even if you consider a potato a vegetable, I don't think any of us consider a French fry to be a vegetable because it's not good for you. They're delicious, but they're not good for you.
How many people in this room will consume fries this weekend?
Oh, I absolutely will eat fries at some point this weekend.
I might. I don't know.
We begin hour number 4 here on this Football Friday. This is Jock's three-man front. Pat Landrum, Molly Conrad. Thanks for making us a part of your start of your weekend. Alabama, Johnson. Hello to all the whiskey fans in town. Talking about the football team, not the drink. 11:45, we've got South Alabama taking on the Auburn Tigers for the first time ever. 11:45, that's that kickoff. And then 7:30 tomorrow night, their Akron Zips will be in town taking on the UAB Blazers. You can hear the pregame show with Landrum beginning at 6:30 tomorrow night. I will be along in the broadcast, David Crane with the play-by-play throughout the night. You can hear the game right here on Jocks. Big high school night region play in full swing. Joining us now from Starnes Media, Kyle Parmley joins us. Kyle, it was great to see you last Friday night, and man, another really nice docket of games this evening.
Yeah, it really is again. You mentioned it, big high school night, and it's crazy that even though it's just week 4, when it comes to Class 7A Region 3, we are going to about in terms of playoffs as we kind of hit the second half of the season.
Well, let's look back before we look ahead. And last week was a very interesting week, especially for the Hoover Bucks, as Hillcrest Tuscaloosa came to the Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. And before you looked up, it was 22-0 Hillcrest. Now, Hoover made it a heck of a ball game during this. A little bit about this Hoover team is they get ready to take on a team that obviously I will see them tonight as Hewitt Trustful comes to the Met. But what had a game with Hillcrest?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That game was 22-0, 6 minutes into the game, and you just don't see that very often. I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked down, and but Hillcrest over there in that big rally back. I mean, honestly, they took the and they more than anything, last football things like last into 7A Region 3.
No, Spain Park was off last week following the matchup that they had with Hoover a couple of weeks ago. Meanwhile, Helena, they pick up their first win last week over Chilton County. You know more than I do about Helena. What can you tell us?
Yeah, this Helena team is, I think Spain Park is the better team on paper. But this Helena team is, look back at between these great games. But this he's always need to win. This to have an open last game. The team is to figure out guys that they're going to be able to, because there's hopefully the healthy and emphasize on the offense. So game against Helena, but
so we haven't seen Carver Birmingham play in a couple weeks. So they started out the season with a win against John Carroll, and they're going up against Briarwood. Carver's 1-0. Briarwood is 1-2.
Yeah, so this Briarwood team tried to figure it all out. They started 0-5 last year, and it was too little too late. Well, the 0-2 start this year, you kind of started feeling some deja vu. But fortunately for the Lions, they got a 1-point win against Ramsey last week that was really cathartic win. Like Briarwood, more quarterback so far. The football from the something lean even more into as the season. Carver team this week, but I don't know a whole. But Briarwood be sitting real.
Two of these teams earlier, Kyle, but you got Vestavia trying to rebound after the loss to Hewitt last week, taking on a Hillcrest team that you talked about that's 3-0 rolling into Thompson Reynolds Stadium. Maybe kind of a back against the wall mentality.
I think this is, don't get me wrong, several of these teams they expect to be able to compete with region. You have through 5 one another. Just playing at who 4 teams going to be back. When you look at it, you mentioned the last week and any stretch last week. Vestavia Hills got pretty banged up. That was a really physical game, and Hewitt-Trussville ran for 390-something yards in that game. And Vestavia had some injuries, and we'll see where they're at health-wise coming into tonight. But they're really going to need to be at full force if they want to compete against this Hillcrest team that is much the same. Hillcrest loves to run the football, and they do it really well. So Vestavia, I expect them to be a little more effective on offense. They only scored 14 points last week against a stout Hewitt-Trussville defense. But I'd expect Vestavia to score a little bit more tonight. And if they can do that, I like their chances. But this is not going to be an easy one by any stretch.
All right, so the Mountain Brook Spartans, they take to the road. They're 2-1 on the season, taking on Pell City up at Pell City High School. They're also 2-1.
Yeah, Mountain Brook, other non-region to the wire. That was an Caden Hoffbauer hitting. But I think Mountain Brook they're in a good spot heading into region play. They know that folks are really starting to key in on that running game with as good of a year that Stuart Andrews had at running back last year, and Caden Hoffbauer at quarterback. He can run so effectively as well. But I think as they're still working their way into figuring out what they exactly want to look like and can maximize their personnel. But I think tonight is going to be a night where we really start to see Mountain Brook start to flex some muscle and show what they've got. And I would expect them to go to Pell City and pick up a win. And if they do, 1-0 in region play is always a great start.
My alma mater, the Homewood Patriots, 3-0 to start the season. Impressive in all 3 weeks. Should get a win tonight against an 0-3 Woodlawn team. And I just want to get your takeaways from Homewood and how strong they could potentially be. You mentioned maybe some tougher games on the back half of the schedule. I know that there is a Parker team that still looms on that regular season schedule, as well as a
definitely going to be where we think to could be in the first half, especially in college games against Cupcake. Has made play 2 quarters of great football and then get the rest of the guys in the second half. It's been really impressive to watch. They're going to go to Woodlawn and do it again tonight. But I can't say enough about how good this Homewood offense has been so far. And it was kind of funny. I think they've given up 14 points in 3 games, and defensive coordinator Freddie Lawrence he's not happy. He's like, wow, we should have pitched 3 shutouts. So they're still grinding to get better over there, and yeah, we'll really find out how good Homewood is here in a couple of weeks.
Well, it's going to be fun. Whatever the classification your favorite high school plays in, this is kind of a very interesting and telling evening across the regions to see who is going to be those teams that are going to be trying to vie for those 4 playoff spots in the region. And man, there's going to be just a lot of things that we might be at midnight. So Kyle, always appreciate your time. Look forward to catching up with you a little bit later at the Hoover Met.
Sounds good, Pat. I'll see you out there, and hoping for a good one tonight.
Hope so. Thank you. That is Kyle Parmley from Starnes Media. Joins us every Friday on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Tell you all the time about our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, it's the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are not. Prize Picks, well, you can win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users just like me and sign up today. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. We cashed in last night thanks to one Conrad Van Order and his assistants. We went NFL with 2 player projections. We hit on both of those. Tonight, we're going to go college football. That's right, college football, but it's not a game tonight. It's a game coming up this weekend. We'll use Ty Simpson of the Alabama Crimson Tide. More or less than 247.5 passing yards for Ty Simpson against the Wisconsin Badgers.
It's the number 1 defense in what? No, they're number 3 overall defensively. Wisconsin.
Number 1 in the world rankings.
Yes.
Let's go less.
Number 3 in the United States.
Yes.
Number 1 in
Let's
Europe.
go less.
Yes. In Europe.
Yes, Europe.
And Asia. Much of Asia.
What about South America? Top 10?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you say? More?
Less. Thank you, Pat.
All right, so less than 247.5 passing yards for Ty Simpson versus Wisconsin tomorrow. Interestingly enough, Jackson Arnold, Auburn quarterback, 245.5 passing yards, more or less against that Jag defense.
Well, they're not playing the number 1 defense in Europe.
More. Best quarterback in the state.
All right. I guess I'm going to ride with you on this. So we're going less on Ty Simpson, more on Jackson Arnold. Passing yards. We hit both of those player projections. We win. It's that simple. Download the app today. Use code WJOX. $5 play. You don't have to win to get that bonus. That's code WJOX to get the $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Check it out today. Do yourself a favor. Have some Prize Picks. It is good to be right.
Well, we got the backyard brawl going on this weekend. We got a little bit of news about that series. Will it continue? We'll tell you more all about it next on this Football Friday 11:17, 1:17. It is 11:17 on the Pacific Coast, but
See?
1:17 in the Central Time Zone. Well, I looked up quick and I saw.
I know. It'll get you.
Yeah.
You didn't see the two little dots.
No.
It's happened to the best of us.
Yeah. But it is 1:18 here in the Central Time Zone.
I would do it once a day. Like in the day when we still had the blind.
Let's finish the week with some Pat Ponders. I've got questions. They've got answers. This is Pat Ponders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trustful. The best deals you're going to find anywhere in the Southeast on brand new GMCs. Get by and see them this weekend. You're not going to miss any of the games. They got TV monitors everywhere in the showroom. Get by and see Drew Lawley, Josh Gargis, the fantastic team there at Courtesy GMC, or visit their online inventory at courtesybirmingham.com. Question number 1. Which of these two SEC teams will you personally go all in as a true contender if they win tomorrow? Would it be Vanderbilt or Arkansas?
Well,
I'm glad you guys
Pat,
understand my
Those
my
are not
humor.
the teams I thought you were going to say.
No, it's not.
After I voluntarily go to treatment. Ooh.
That was good. That was good.
I couldn't give you an easy
No,
one.
I know.
I'm going to go.
Keep in mind, Arkansas's got to play Notre Dame later.
Keep in mind, Vanderbilt's got to play Alabama and Auburn. Arkansas plays Auburn. You know what?
Go. Pull the trigger. Do it.
Not promoting it. I'll go Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to lean Arkansas too, and I know this is going to sound weird, but if you get the consistent version of Taylon Green, I think he has a higher ceiling than what Diego Pavia does. Now,
I just looked at the rest of the schedule. Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah, it's not pretty. But
Neither
you would have
schedule's
opportunities
pretty.
against Texas if you're Arkansas. You got Notre Dame. Like, you've got more chances to make some statement games, as well as if you lose those games and win against Ole Miss, you might still be okay. So, I mean, I don't think either of these teams I would look at as a contender if they win tomorrow, but if I had to pick Arkansas.
That wasn't the question.
I know. That's Arkansas.
I know. He's got to answer it.
Yeah.
Set us up for failure. That Arkansas schedule. Woo.
I hate this question.
Okay. Protest has been officially filed.
No, but I will pick I mean, both schedules are pretty brutal, but I'd probably have to go with Arkansas.
I'll just go the under.
Or the under.
All right, question 2. Oklahoma plays in Philadelphia tomorrow against Temple. As I told you last hour, Alabama once played there in 1988. That game drew 28,000 people between Alabama and Temple. So here's the question.
That was back before they had public transportation.
Will there be more or less than 28,000 people in attendance for Oklahoma and Temple?
Crimson and Cream showing up. City of Brotherly Love. They're going to have more than that.
Okay. So you go over.
John Mateer. It's the John Mateer factor is what it is.
Okay. So you're going over 28,000.
Yep.
Yeah, I would go over the 28,000 again. I mean, I think it's one of those. I mean, I guess if you are a Temple fan, right? Like, when you get another game like this. Plus, if you're just in Philadelphia and you're tired of watching the Mets win or the Phillies win all the time, then yeah, I think they get over 28,000.
With it being Oklahoma, I think so, and I think you'll have a lot of Oklahoma fans show up. Why not take a trip to Philly? I would.
Did you say what the capacity is of that stadium?
They are roping off the upper deck of Lincoln Financial. I think Lincoln Financial's in the high 60s. So I believe they're cordoning that off. So no upper deck seating.
Yeah, 67,000.
Huge alumni base of all those Oklahoma grads that live in the Northeast. They're going to make their way down there.
Huge. Yeah, I think Philadelphia is like number 2 outside of Dallas, Texas, in regards to Oklahoma graduates.
Well, for the most part, Temple's been so bad.
I was like, wait, what?
That was a joke.
Yeah, I was
Tongue-in-cheek.
like, huh?
Temple's been so bad, probably people around there are like, yeah, I'll go and watch an Oklahoma team led by John Mateer. When are we going to see it again?
Let's go see what a real football team looks like. And on top of that, with the Eagles out of town on Sunday.
That helps.
In Kansas City?
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, that's going to be a great game, too.
They don't bring the horse in the carriage, do they?
Oh, yeah.
They going to let them in there?
I don't
I
know.
hope they
Eagles,
do.
Eagles might not. I put the kibosh on that.
That seems like a really big hassle to bring the wagon and the horse.
But
and
the
all
one
that.
time you don't bring it.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You lose and everyone gets mad and freaks out. Yeah.
Question number 3. Who do you think should be responsible for a top 25 voting in college football? Should it be beat writers, odds makers, or just ESPN or Fox media personalities? Which one of those
You know
three
what?
should be voting for the top
God.
25?
Hey.
Oh God.
I actually go, well, it'd be a conflict of interest in some ways, but as far as people who study it and power rankings, I go odds makers.
So you'd be okay if the odds makers are the ones that filled out a top 25 ballot.
Again, it would be a conflict of interest. I could see how they could
Manipulate it?
manipulate it. But given what we've seen from the Haley Sawyers of the world, and to be honest, I really don't trust college football playoff committee.
So you said beat writers, odds makers, and then ESPN and Fox people?
The odds makers would take it serious.
Well, and you're going to have the human element of bias with all the other ones. See, and because my first thought too is the odds makers, right? But we know how that's going to work. Like Alabama would still be a top 10 team right now, right? If the odds makers did the rankings, because they love.
They're going to do the same thing that coaches when they do decide to vote.
You're
If
right.
they got that team on their schedule, they play them the next week. It's a big matchup. They're going to vote them ahead.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, I think. I would go odds makers as well.
I guess. Because I wouldn't pick beat writers or
I'll tell
some
you
of these other people.
I'll tell you what, odds makers and beat writers are leagues above ESPN and Fox personalities, though. That's the last people that need to vote on who the top 25
I think you
is,
get a
in my
panel
opinion.
of clergy together.
Be better
Different
than,
denominations. They make up a panel.
All right. The final question of the week is brought to you by BB.
Yay.
Your neighbors, whom you have a great relationship with, decide to let their high school senior, a top athlete, have an end of the season pool party at their house. It's evening, and the neighbors, trusting the kids, decide to head out for an hour or so for dinner. As soon as they are gone, you begin to smell the distinct odor of weed. What do you do? Here's the options BB gave you. Nothing. Confront the kids while the neighbors are gone. Or 3, talk to the neighbors the next day. Which one of those 3 would you do?
Nothing.
I mean,
They're kids. Probably going to be a controversial opinion. A lot of kids do that. Now, if they went out and did something or caused problems, then that's a different story. But if they're doing, whatever.
According to her question, it just says, as soon as they're gone, you begin to smell the distinct odor of weed. What do you do? The options: nothing, confront the kids while the neighbors are gone, talk to the neighbors the next day.
I'm not saying a thing.
I'm not either.
I go to the store and get snacks.
Go get them some Pringles.
Yeah, I'm not. Nope.
Not my kids, not my problem.
Well,
I'll say this. I'd
It's-
rather them be
it's-
doing that than drinking. So
it's kind of like if you heard a car alarm these days. It's white noise. You smell it everywhere. Not that I'm not going to say anything.
no, I don't care.
All right, good question.
Maybe that makes us bad people.
I won't tell your parents under one condition. Everyone empty your pockets.
And put it in this box that I provide you.
That's exactly.
That's right. I'm going to dispose of this in a safe
manner.
Yeah. Now, if it was something, probably would.
That's today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trussville. Goodbye and see them off of I-459, exit 32.
And like we were when we were in high school, they're going to be outed soon enough anyways.
Yeah.
Am I
We're
having
grown
second
up.
thought? Morality police starting to creep in. We'll continue as 3-man front on this Friday.
It is 1:30. Welcome back to Jocks. This is three-man front on this Football Friday. Everyone loves a winner. Kevin Todd joins us from Vegas, 6-441-2711, vegasmistake.com. It focuses on games where the odds makers, and you have started out as well as anybody here at the beginning of this football season. I hope you're doing good on this Friday.
Yes, I am. And let me remind all your listeners that last week, our clients went 5-1 on outright, and best of all, they were plus 170 on the money line and going 2-1 in the NFL. But I got a special going on right now for all of your listeners. Right now, I have a performance promise. And what do I mean, folks, by the performance promise? If I don't show you a profit tomorrow, I will give you my Sunday NFL for free. You get my 3 best bets in college football with my Vegas Mistake for only $49. Go right over to vegasmistake.com or give me a call at 866-441-2711. That's 866-441-2711. You get my performance promise with my 3 best bets, all for $49. I want to earn your business.
All right, so let's talk about this week, Kevin, if we can. This is a big one up on Rocky Top as the Georgia Bulldogs minus 3.5. I think that's the current point spread against the Tennessee Vols.
It is the current point spread, and let me tell you right now, I should say Georgia has dominated this series. The last 8 game, guys, they've won by an average of 25 points. In those 8 games, they're 7-1 against the spread. But you know what? Something's fishy about this game, because when this line opened up, gentlemen, it opened up at 7.5, and now it's dropped all the way down to 3.5. I don't know why. Somebody knows somebody or something. It's crazy how that line just drops 4 points, and that's a lot of money coming in on Tennessee. But when I went back and I looked, Tennessee is 4-2-1 straight up, and they're 6-1 against the spread when they're unbeaten. And listen to this, guys, 5 at home against SEC when they're unbeaten as a home dog. People might think I'm crazy. I haven't been impressed with Georgia. They struggled against Marshall. They struggled against Austin Peay. I'm going to take Tennessee in this matchup plus the 3.5. I think they can win the game outright, gentlemen.
All right, so the website is vegasmistake.com, and this website, they obviously focus in on the games where the odds makers have made the mistakes. Last week, it was huge. You had Ohio +4 over West Virginia. They won the game outright. But tell everybody, once again, this special 3-game program you got going on this weekend.
Guys, I have a special offer for all the listeners right now. You get my 3 best bets in college football for only $49, backed by my performance promise. If I don't show you a profit on Saturday tomorrow, you will get my NFL selections on Sunday absolutely free. Stake.com or give me a call at 866-441. Folks, I'm telling you, I don't care if you're betting small or if you're betting big. This is the weekend that you need to come on board and take advantage. You have my performance promise. I promise to make you money this weekend, or you get my NFL selections absolutely free on Sunday. Go to vegasmistake.com or give me a call at 866-441-2711.
Awesome stuff. Kevin, we look forward to catching up with you again next week after another weekly winner. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's Kevin Todd from vegasmistake.com. That number again, 1-866-441-2711. So Landrum, once again, someone that likes the Tennessee Vols against the Georgia Bulldogs this weekend. Very interesting game.
It's a big one. It's a really big one.
Big one in the conference, big one in the national perspective.
But wouldn't it be fitting if Joey Aguilar is the Tennessee quarterback that finally gets it done? The afterthought. The guy who was in a quarterback competition with the 2 other guys since Nico left. And he directs the band.
He's got to back up his daddy's talk after his interview with Pete Nakos this week. Talking about how they won the trade with Nico.
That Georgia defense is going to go up there with a mat on.
When I was watching the Nico UNLV game the other night, I did not see all those proverbial shots away to Nico's dad like he got when he was in Knoxville. You remember that? It was incessant.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was the equivalent of watching an Alabama basketball game and seeing Mark Sears' mom.
Mm-hmm.
It was constant.
Good comparison.
Good. It was constant. I did not see that watching UNLV and UCLA. Maybe they have decided, maybe they hadn't got the memo that Nico's dad is in the stands. I don't know.
Well, maybe they got the memo that he's just like kind of an average quarterback, so it's not
There's
worth the
no need
attention
to-
anymore, honestly.
We don't need to have a dedicated camera to the Iamaleava family anymore. We don't need that.
I don't think so.
Or after all of the money that they've collected now through 2 stops, he's got him a suite.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do we think they're sitting in the stands? Because I bet they're probably up there in the president's box.
That might have been part of the deal.
May have been.
Could have.
I need a suite.
There's nothing you could tell me that was in that agreement between them that would surprise me, I think.
Let's get my hands on that agreement.
That'd be a good read.
Pitt and West Virginia, they are playing this weekend, and some news just came out a couple of minutes ago, and this is great news for college football. Pitt and West Virginia, they have decided to extend the backyard brawl through 2036.
Yes.
Because, it went away for a while.
It's a great rivalry.
It is. Schools will now play annually from 2029 through 2036. It'll be at Pittsburgh an odd number of years, and West Virginia an even number of years. So that's great for college football. I wish both of those teams were in the same conference like they used to be.
Yeah.
Back in the old Big East days.
I brought it up, but as a younger child, like one of my big standout games that I remember was the backyard brawl with West Virginia and Pitt in 2007, I believe, when West Virginia, if they won that game, they were going to go play for a national championship, and Pitt managed to pull off that upset, and Pat White and Steve Slayton and all those guys for Rich Rod and West Virginia. So glad that they're going to keep doing it.
2036, the question is, will West Virginia be in the Big 12, and will Pitt still be in the ACC? What will the ACC be at that time?
That's fair.
Will it be Pat Narduzzi versus Jimbo Fisher?
No. It will be Clint Trickett versus Pat Narduzzi.
Pat Narduzzi.
There we go.
Lifetime contract for Narduzzi.
I think he'll be there for a while.
He'll still be complaining.
Yeah.
One thing we love doing on Friday, and we kind of started early on Thursday when Brett Norsworthy joins the show, and he gives us his I Ain't Scared. He gave us like 5 yesterday. So these are the things that I'll be paying attention to this weekend, whether any of those 5 hit by Brett Norsworthy, and if the blue plate from Wimp Sanderson hits.
Yes.
So there's like 7 games outside of all of you guys' picks with Better to Forget I'll be paying attention to. But we like to ask the question, Molly, on Friday. Our audience, we give them some options on the bold I Ain't Scared prediction of the weekend.
Yeah, so the options that we gave you for the I Ain't Scared bold predictions were the Hogs over the Rebels, the Vols beat the Dogs, the Gators chomp the Tigers, or there's Pavia Magic in Columbia. And right now winning with 39% saying the Vols are going to handle their business against Georgia. 32% saying Pavia Magic in Columbia. 16% saying the Hogs will stun the Rebels. Sorry, Pat.
Blasphemy.
And only 13 saying the Gators will chomp the Tigers.
A lot of people think the Vols are going to get it done. And I think we all agree, or at least I can speak for me and Landrum because we've had this conversation privately and I think during Better or Forget It, Conrad said it, until we see Georgia actually lose this game, I'm going all in on the Dogs.
Right. And it kind of goes back to I was on the Clemson bus prior to LSU and Clemson. I think most of the public was thinking that Clemson wins that game. And a lot of it had to do with LSU and the lack of first game success that they've had. But Tennessee's going to have to prove it. Well, they've had better teams than the one that they do this year. Now, granted, so has Georgia, but I'll take Georgia in this spot, especially after last week.
Yes.
Especially after last week.
No, I'm right there with you. I just go back a couple years to the Hendon Hooker year, right, when they beat Alabama, and you thought, man, this is really the year for it. And they got demolished by Georgia. Now, I don't think it's going to be that bad tomorrow, but those things are hard to get out of my head.
That wide receiver group, they don't have that at Tennessee.
They do not have that. And, I mean, even last year, right, it was 17-17 most of the game, and then next thing you know, you look up, Georgia's up 2 scores.
I trust Kirby Smart and that defense and the talent that he's amassed any given game to show up and shut somebody down for the most part.
Yep.
I agree.
Now, offense, this game very well could go under.
8 in a row for the Georgia Bulldogs, 13 of the last 15. But the last time that Tennessee actually won the game between these two happened back in 2016 between the Hedges and Athens.
4 seconds to go. Game's on the line here, 31-28 Georgia. Dobbs out of the shotgun, back to throw. Dobbs drops back, looks, loads up, fires long for the end zone. The pass is going to be caught by Tennessee. Tennessee wins! Caught it by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch in the end zone on the Hail Mary. What a turn of events. Georgia throws a bomb. Tennessee comes back and throws the Hail Mary as the pass from Josh Dobbs in the end zone for a score on the last play of the game. Jawan Jennings with the touchdown, and Tennessee wins. I don't believe I saw that.
What a great call by Bob Kessling, who retired last year. His color guy was all over him there on that call.
They didn't know how to handle the moment.
Coming from 2 play-by-play guys, it's,
Kessling was probably too nice to say anything.
Yeah, it's like, just let it play out.
Let the moment breathe.
Yes.
Have you ever cut your color guy's mic? You
I don't
were
have,
anticipating?
I don't have that access.
Pat would definitely be the one to do that, though.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
Comes time to leave. I can't find my keys. Pat's like, yeah, you'll never find them.
They're in the bleachers. Nah, Kessling was first class.
Yep.
Good dude and great announcer. For
Who took over?
Mike Keith is the Titans announcer.
Titans guy.
Yep.
Okay.
So we have a few more minutes left to go on the show. We've got time to get a couple more tech read on the air or a phone call. This is 3-Man Front on a Football Friday on Jocks. A reminder, in the event that Alabama loses to Wisconsin, Conrad will have his face painted like a badger. Molly's excited about that. She loves doing Conrad's makeup on a daily basis.
Yep.
It's so fun.
He went a little light on the eyeliner.
We need to get him a Sephora deal.
Something tells me my manhood could not be restored if
Are
I
you
did
more a
makeup
Sephora or Ulta?
sponsorship.
Which are you?
Didn't you say you got your
Ooh,
base from Sephora?
And your eyeshadow from Ulta?
Well, my bank account would say I'm more of an Ulta guy because that's where my wife spends a lot of the money. So I guess we're an Ulta family.
Okay.
I can't remember which one is the one that the smell just. Is it Sephora? I think it is.
I would guess both of them.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And they both sell perfume.
I'll tell you what. I'll stop by the Summit on the way home. I'll walk in both. I'll call you.
Give you a report.
Let you know.
Yep.
Bama kicks off at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Breakfast at Bryant Denny. 11:45 at Jordan-Hare will be Auburn taking on the South Alabama Jags. Tomorrow night at 7:30, the UAB Blazers will be hosting the Akron Zips at Protective Stadium. Should be a beautiful day, beautiful night for football across the great state of Alabama. We've got high school football coming up tonight. Landrum will be on the call as Spain Park is hosting Helena, the fake Huskies from Helena. That's an inside joke here in the office. The Hewitt Huskies will be taking on the Hoover Bucks. Me and Molly will be on that game tonight, as that's a big game in Region 3. And Conrad's got the night off because Mountain Brook's on the road.
Traveling to Pell City.
That's right.
He's just halfway fan.
I'm whatever they pay me to be a fan of.
He will have split screens on your game and my game tonight because he's that much of a fan of what you and I do that he'll be following us religiously tonight.
And I can't tell you how much that means to us.
It means a lot.
It does.
I try.
And then when he'll
You'll do a
tweet
great
out a
job.
picture of his multiple screens of him watching us do the high school games.
Just for you, Conrad, tonight, I'll throw it in. Our waffle stomper play of the week.
I like it. That sounds good.
And we could maybe throw in some stuff like we used to make Tom Hart do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, throwing some fun terms or phrases throughout the broadcast.
Tom would say, "Hey, give me something. I'll throw it in the broadcast."
Yeah, Pat, you've got the word that Wimp used 5 times when he joined us earlier.
I don't think I'll be using that one. I don't think so.
Just bring up the Dave Aranda quote. Motivate the guys before the game.
I'm good. I will take the high road there.
205-834.
And not the low road.
9450.
Thank you.
Oh, text line is open. Who's the best team in the SEC as of today? It's still very unclear to this listener. Still unclear to me. If I have to pick right now, I'll go LSU.
I think LSU and Oklahoma right now would be the top 2 contenders for me.
Cigar Cowboy, street tortillas with actual kernels of corn. Viva Nicaragua. He
Sounds
spent
good.
some time down there.
Sounds good.
Double D. Must try the Brussels sprouts at Chuck's in T-Town. Amazing dish. By the way, you guys are awesome. Totally enjoy the show. Thank you, Double D.
Yeah, Chuck's fish is good. I've never had the Brussels there, though. I'll have to try that.
Al Michaels said that he had never eaten a vegetable. We played the audio earlier. He's 80 years old. Dan Patrick said when he goes to eat with Al, that Al orders just a steak and no sides. Other folks that have eaten with him say the same thing.
No sides.
Did you get a
at all.
discount? That'd be my question. Or am I still paying for, because normally it's entree and 2 sides. Am I still paying for the sides?
We know someone who ordered a steak and sides and just ate one of the sides.
Yes. It was a great steak, too. Can't believe it just sat there.
It was.
And Conrad wanted to take it home with him.
Yeah, I did. Me and Landra both did.
It wasn't just Conrad.
I'm like, I mean, is that just gonna sit there?
And I don't care if you've cut a piece of it off. That's a really good piece of meat.
Absolutely.
Corn on the cob needs some Tabasco with your butter and salt. Bill from Madison.
Okay. I know a lot of people just put Tabasco on stuff, and that makes it a lot better for them.
I was hooked on Tabasco my college years, and then I've gone more to. I like Tabasco; it's good, but I like the Franks.
I was about to say I go for more of just like a buffalo sauce.
I like Louisiana hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal hot sauce. I used to marinate shrimp
and hot sauce
before I fried them. Yeah, let them sit in the hot sauce overnight.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Gave them some kick. Fried pickles, fried mushrooms? Question mark.
Molly loves
fried
the
squash.
pickles.
Ugh, don't even.
Couldn't imagine my life without those. One of our listeners says.
Is a pickle the most vile thing to you?
Absolutely.
More so than any of the other stuff we've talked about?
Yes.
Ryan Williams guy's back.
Stay the Georgia guy.
You could read the first half of it.
All right, Pat, here's the riddle. Ryan Williams, favorite bird? Question mark.
That might be the most creative one he's sent in all week.
It's very good.
That one's good.
It's really good. Thank you.
Very clever.
All right. I don't know what Jason's trying to say, but he's saying I think he's trying to say corn on the cob with Tony Chachere's butter and fresh basil lights out. It came out Coral McCabe with Tony Sachet butter and fresh basil lights out. Big 5A region game tonight down south. Andalusia taking on Greenville. It's a big one. We appreciate our listeners there in South Alabama, all around the state. What word did Coach use? I missed it.
If you've seen The Wolf of Wall Street and they're talking about the people that they can throw at the target.
He did not use the word or the term little people. The bird thing just got me.
Oh, it's so good.
I ain't scared bold prediction. Vandy upsets South Carolina. Thank you for that one. Another one, I ain't scared bold prediction. Collins and Pell City. He said Bulls of South Florida beat Miami. That's going to be the story of college football if it happens this weekend.
Do you think they'll be ranked in the top 25? South